Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a great, wonderful day. And it seems that everybody now is coming down on the hate the Fani Willis train because her corruption is being exposed. Apparently her divorce with her alleged husband or whatever is now coming to an end. And now people are wanting her to quit, as they should, because, it's just not doing too great for her. We all knew this case was a sham. We knew this case was political, but now we're seeing the true light. And Byron Johnson is saying the same things here on what has been going on, what the issues are, and people are raging about it. So, without further ado, here is the clips of a few people just not quite happy with Fani Willis and her actual choices and corruption.
Fani, all that money you allocated tricking on a prosecutor, tricked his wife out of $1,400 a month alimony payments, and even took some of it back using the debit card out the same account that he put the money in from contracts he allegedly fucked you for. Where's the justice for this black woman when she's saying I've been married to his ass for 26 years, raised his children, and he somehow found a way to get around the law to only pay me $700 every 2 weeks, and then he splits that with me? This is the one you getting up on a church podium here to stand beside? That's the problem. Women findeth men. How you in church talking about, when I found this black man? You didn't find him. He's fucking you. Full way up. That's just what it is. And you didn't think that they was going to find out. But I'm just like, where's the justice for this black woman over here that helped to build up the very man that you are enjoying right now for the small price of $630,000 every year?
And the Lord did not cause you to stumble into $600,000 of taxpayer money because you're sleeping with the dude who's the lead prosecutor. You thought you were going to get away, and so you try to get the church's money. That's what happened here, and you got caught. It's that simple. And look, should this case be thrown out? It should, because it is clear you have prosecutorial misconduct. Now that he was billing Fulton County DA's office for 24 hours of discovery, having meetings in Washington, D.C. with the White House counsel. I mean, that's ridiculous. You know that. Everybody knows that. But I got one other question. What does the White House counsel know? When did they know it? And what does Joe Biden know? And when did he know it? Because if they're meeting with the White House counsel's office, you can't tell me that they did not tell the president what was going on. She is in a long line of politicians who were trying to essentially take advantage of Trump to build their name ID. And she was also trying to get money in the process. Don't go into a black church and say, oh, pray for me. You did wrong, and you know you did wrong. You're in violation of any lawyer's ethics standards in any state in the country. Don't go to the church now asking for prayer and forgiveness. You knowingly did it and you got caught. She should be removed. She should be disbarred.
Brian Johnson makes a very strong point. How does Biden not know what's going on? They had communications and talked with the White House or the Biden administration, so there has to be some type of communication going on. What's going on with the whole issue? So this is making a bigger thing to where it seems to be that the Biden administration is in cahoots with these other prosecutors to go after his political opponent, Donald Trump. Now, these are obviously accusations, radical hearsay, but this is a very, very strong way of saying this is probably the case, because now we see all the corruption and the badness that's going on here, and I want to know the full information. I want all this stuff out, and hopefully that may be the case where we can get to see it. Now, here is an actual clip or video here of them. Pretty much the judge pretty much laying down the hammer and saying that that the divorce documents are going to be unsealed. So we'll get to see exactly what's going on or what happened during these alleged accusations and stuff like that. So without further ado, here we go.
Superior Court is now in session. A big decision on Monday that could impact the Fulton County election indictment happening miles away in a Cobb County courtroom. The secretive case of Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade's divorce, secret no more. A judge ordering its unsealing, marking the first time the case has been made public since February of 2022.
There's very specific and stringent processes that the court must follow before a record is withheld from the public, and they were not followed in this case, Judge.
Attorney Ashley Merchant, who represents election indictment defendant Michael Roman, said the case was sealed without a public hearing, invalidating its secrecy. It was Roman's legal team who first floated the allegations of an improper relationship between Wade and his boss, District Attorney Fani Willis, earlier this month. After urging from Willis's attorneys, a judge said he'll wait to hear Wade's deposition in the case before deciding if Willis has to comply with her own subpoena for her testimony in the divorce. Wade's bank statements, released on Friday, show the two traveled together to California and Florida while Wade was acting as special prosecutor. His wife's attorney outside of court said this wasn't an attempt to smear him or Willis or to tamper with the election indictment.
It wouldn't matter who she is and what position she holds. If she's having an affair with my client's husband and he's spending my client's money on that relationship, I'm going to find out about it. And it has nothing to do, in my view, with her being the district attorney of Florida.
So there you have it. We are seeing that the proceedings are going through, but that's not all. We are going to have a bit more. See, the judge was waiting to see for the divorce case sealings to be unsealed. That was on hold for a little bit, and now we have actual full information that they are going to be unsealed, and we're going to get to see all that information be opened here. And this has a huge impact on Trump's case, because I don't think that this case is going to be able to go through at all. It's in shambles. It's completely in flames because of all the corruption and misprosecution that's been happening here, and in this whole entire case. It's insanity. And here we have is Trump's lawyer going over this on the actual case in itself, and how Byron Johnson is obviously saying that it needs to be disbarred and all that great stuff because of how terrible this is. It's kind of, we're seeing how everything is starting to play out here in full force.
Here's Trump's attorney.
I think there's a general concern in this country right now, and this sheds light on that, Martha, in that we're appointing these individuals to positions of power where they have access to taxpayer money, and they're selecting cases to become more famous, not do the right thing. And then we see this slew of corruption that eventually comes down, including this story.
Florida Congressman Byron Donalds with this: the Lord did not cause you to stumble into $600,000 in taxpayer money because you're sleeping with the lead prosecutor. There's prosecutorial misconduct. Fani should be removed and disbarred. Steve Harrigan on the story in Marietta, Georgia now. Steve.
Harris, the fight today is over divorce proceedings, whether or not they should be unsealed, and whether that district attorney, Fani Willis, should be forced to be deposed to give testimony in this divorce case. Another hearing coming up next month will look at whether the two behaved improperly and whether they improperly used taxpayer money to take vacations. Many are already beginning to say that the district attorney should step aside.
I think that the case is, if it hasn't gone off the rails already, it's about to. And I don't see anything good coming from her staying in charge of the case at this point. I think a lot good can happen if she steps away. This is obviously a huge distraction.
We've already gotten a hint at what might be in those divorce proceedings. On Friday, lawyers for the estranged wife released bank statements that show Nathan Wade bought plane tickets for himself and Willis to go to Miami, to go to San Francisco, to take a Caribbean cruise, and to rent a hotel in Napa Valley, California. Harris, back to you.
Yes, and this is huge for Donald Trump, because honestly, if this case is this corrupt, then it should obviously be 100% be dropped, because the prosecutors and the corruption, we know that the judge is not in the best of places right now, and it just seems to be a whole slew of issues. I wonder what your guys' opinions on this whole matter. It's sounds dirty, sounds very bad, and obviously, as we can see here, that the corruption seems to go very deep. We still have those answers that need to be answered from the Joe Biden administration, because again, I find it very odd that he has not been notified or noticed of this and why this will continue to go forward. And if this is the case that it continue to go forward, even to his knowledge, then there is some even bigger questions onto asking on why did he allow it to go through knowing this. So yeah, it's crazy, guys, but she's been exposed, and there's a lot more crazy stuff going to happen. Well, guess we'll see what happens next month, because things are not looking too great for Fani Little Willis here. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted, because it's algorithmic disease, the social media.